Now, the Executive Secretary, Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NEITI, Dr. Orji Ogbonnaya Orji, has stated that the oil swap policy dialogue is designed to provide stakeholders in the extractive industry a platform to share data, analytical insight on Nigeria's crude swaps, identity gaps and weakness in the swap deals, as well as highlight corruption red flags and risk areas, while initiating interagency collaboration on the use of beneficial ownership data between anti-corruption agencies and regulators. Dr. Orji Ogbonnaya Orji disclosed this on Thursday in Abuja, and Maliki Duru has more.
At the policy dialogue on oil swap in Abuja, the Executive Secretary NEITI, Dr. Orji Ogbonnaya Orji, said NEITI policy brief on crude oil theft and data pulled from NEITI industry reports of the oil and gas sector showed that between 2009 and 2020, Nigeria lost 619.7 million barrels of crude oil, valued at $46.16 billion. The volume of crude oil losses represents a loss of more than 140,000 barrels per day.
There is no economy that can survive with this kind of leakages. The volume of crude oil losses represent a loss of more than 140,000 barrels per day. Between 2009 and 2018, Nigeria lost 4.2 billion liters of petroleum products from refineries valued at $1.84 billion.
Speaking further, Dr. Orji Ogbonnaya said the findings and recommendations on tackling crude oil theft have been submitted to the federal government.
The first challenge is the issue and the urgency for the government to make a decision on fuel subsidy. The removal of fuel subsidy and full deregulation of the petroleum sector will permanently, in our view, lay to rest the whole issue about oil swap and all such allied convoluted transactions in 2005 and 2021. That figure in relative terms from our research is equivalent to Nigeria's entire budget for health, education, agriculture, and in defense in the last 5 years, and almost the capital expenditure for our country for the last 10 years. What we have spent on subsidy was...
Speaking earlier, TJ Bolton Akpan, Executive Director of Policy Alerts, called on the law enforcement agencies to hold individuals accountable in the oil swap.
Coming just weeks before the current administration hands the baton of statecraft over to the incoming one, it exemplifies the many important policy conversations that should be happening at this transitional juncture, not least as it concerns the management of Nigeria's important oil and gas sector. With the beneficial ownership reforms under KAMA 2020, how can the CAC increase the quality of beneficial ownership disclosures to ensure that such data becomes a robust tool in the hands of accountability actors, such as civil society, the legislature, and law enforcement agents in the job of holding everyone accountable for their roles in the crude oil swaps?
It's hoped that this conversation will improve the scope of quality NEITI audits of oil remittance in the country.